Official injury report came out. We know players that are not going to be playing in this game and some questionable players. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. If you're watching this and not subscribed, I suggest go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Why is that? Well, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. We do post-game shows, videos, we do live streams, so it's all things Detroit Lions. Let's go ahead and get into this injury report. It just came out, so we know individuals that's not going to be playing in this game. We got some big names that is going to be out. Look here, Brian Branch is not going to be playing on Sunday. He's officially out for Lions and Buccaneers. That's a big hit to the Lions defense. With that said, you do have players like Will Harris who can come in and contribute, as well as Ife Efutu-Melifonwu can come out there and contribute. Look, he's been dealing with that ankle injury since the Green Bay Packers. I thought he would be out in this game, and he is giving him another week to rest. I suspect he'll probably be back for the Baltimore Ravens game. That's when he'll come in and be with the Detroit Lions. That would give him plenty of time to rest that ankle and be on the side of caution here. Again, if you have injuries, make sure these guys are rested up. Jahmyr Gibbs is out as well. Now, look, for the Lions, that sucks if you don't have a guy that has that breakaway speed right in the running game. With that said, we got David Montgomery and Craig Reynolds, and I'm fully invested in those guys holding the fort down. This is why we got a David Montgomery, right? If there's injuries to a Jahmyr Gibbs, you got David Montgomery. If there's injuries to David Montgomery, you got Jahmyr Gibbs. And right now, Montgomery is playing on a different level. He's playing in the stratosphere right now. He is really good. He's pretty much doing all the carries here, except for a couple here and there to Craig Reynolds. And so having Jahmyr Gibbs out, while it does suck not having that speed in the outside, I don't think it really affects the run game too much. The Lions use Montgomery a lot. I think it's more of the spread and the big play, trying to give Jahmyr Gibbs the football in the run game. But he's dealing with a hamstring, and hamstrings can take a little bit of time. So they're going to rest him another week. I don't know when he comes back. Maybe it's after the Baltimore game. Maybe it's for the Monday night game. Because hamstrings do tend to be a little bit longer. Jonah Jackson's going to be out in this game as well. So we're going to go ahead and have Halapoulivaati Vaitai or Skipper or Wasika, whoever is going to be over there at the left guard position. Rest him up, dealing with his ankle injury. Yeah, it sucks that he's not going to be part of the offensive line, but I think this is a one-game type of deal. He'll probably be back next week, in my opinion, and we do got some good interior offensive line to hold it down. Thankfully, Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow are good to go, and that makes life a lot easier for that left guard. Obviously, Zonovan Knight, he's done for the year. James Mitchell is out as well. Been dealing with a hamstring for a long time. Who knows when he comes back in this game, but it's not going to be, or comes back to play with the Detroit Lions, but it's not going to be this week. Obviously, Emmanuel Moseley is out, though. Zonovan Knight and Moseley should be placed on IR. I'm going to assume probably tomorrow. So open up a couple of roster spots. We already know they're done for the year. Joshua Paschal is not going to be activated for this game. He is going to be out. Remember, they started the 21-day window. I didn't expect him at all to be in this game. They just activated him. So probably after the bye week. Expect a lot of these guys to be fully good to go after the bye week. In my opinion, that is probably the times table. I tell you what, look, I'm glad that the Lions don't have an early bye week, but I must say we need a bye week. This team has a lot of injuries, and it's quite scary to see the injuries that we're getting to a lot of our good players. I mean, literally, Jonah Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, all starters for the Lions offense. So that's 3 starters, and Brian Branch for the defense, but 3 starters for the Lions offense and defense just right there. And Paschal, he's been dealing with that injury for a while. Khalil Dorsey is questionable. not too worried about that one anyways. But the big news here, Sam LaPorta is questionable. With that said, folks, he was practicing today. I fully expect Sam LaPorta to be active for Sunday's game. I think that is a huge win for the Lions to have him out there. He is a mismatch for the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of all the players that are not, that were questionable or, before this we didn't know, Sam LaPorta would have been the one I'm like, we got to have him back because he's so integral towards a mismatch. And he's been balling on offense for Jared Goff, catching everything, making big plays. He's just an all-around really good player for the Detroit Lions. Teddy Bridgewater, non-related. Personal injury, no issue there. He's just a backup. Taylor Decker, full practice. Frank Ragnow, full practice. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, full practice. So they're all going to be in the game there. So you're going to have St. Brown back compared to what it was last week. Really good to have St. Brown and LaPorta in this game. Those are two big players for the Detroit Lions offense. Massive big players. So as long as you got St. Brown, you got LaPorta, and you got Montgomery and Jared Goff, I think the Lions offense can cruise against good teams. Not like bad teams, yeah, we can miss a couple guys, right? But we're going against the Buccaneers. I think the offense will be fine, and Ben Johnson will be able to do his thing. Now, look, it's going to be a difficult game. It's not going to be easy. I don't think the Lions are going to put up 40 points on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got a really good defense, but I think the Lions' offense is pretty damn good too. And as long as you got the core there, I think the Lions offense will be fine. I just read a report from Pro Football Network that Mike Evans is good to go. He was limited practice, but he's a full go for Sunday. My suggestion here is he's dealing with the hamstring, that he'll probably be limited in the game with the amount of snap counts. It's hard for me to believe this guy goes from having a hamstring injury to every single play. But he is a playmaker for that offense. To me, he's the best playmaker for that offense. So we're going to have our hands full in this game. So Aaron Glenn's really got to come up with a game plan to stop Mike Evans. Really do. Because if he goes off, it's going to be a long game. Remember, DK Metcalf was somebody that tore us up in the offense of Seattle. He's one of those guys, and I think that Mike Evans is one of those guys. That's a really good player that can affect the whole defense. So hopefully they double team him, and Jerry Jacobs is not on Mike Evans. I think alone at least. You got to give him some help. And look, I love Jerry Jacobs, but he's going to need help. You're going against an elite wide receiver in Mike Evans, so he's going to need some help. Let's not just do one-on-one right there, because Baker Mayfield will run around, and at some point Mike Evans will get open. He'll throw them the football, first down or touchdown, so we got to watch for that. All in all, I look at this injury report, and the Lions are banged up. They are absolutely, fundamentally banged up. But it's good news to have Sam LaPorta, St. Brown back for the Detroit Lions. It really is. It's going to make a difference for this offense. It really will. So I'm real excited to watch the game on Sunday. I still have the Detroit Lions winning this game, but it's going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's at Tampa. They got the creamsicles on there. They're a good defense. Lions are a good offense. Lions got a good defense. Like, it's two good teams, two first-place teams going at it. And let the best team win. I do think the Detroit Lions are the better team, so I do have them winning this game. It would be really nice to go to 5-1. Really nice with these next couple games, the stretch coming up with Baltimore. And then, obviously, the Raiders. I think the Lions will win that game. And then after that, you got the Chargers. That's like my biggest span of hard games. I wouldn't necessarily say hard, but more difficult for the Detroit Lions. You make it past, you go 3 wins out of the next 4, I'm pretty damn happy. I'd say that the Detroit Lions are looking to get a high seed in the playoffs. If they go 4-0 in the next 4, man, we got to root for whatever team's facing the 49ers at that point. Because then if the Lions go 4 wins in the next 4, I think the Lions would have a really good record. We're talking 13 wins. Like, right now, I started the season with 11 wins. I think they can get to 12 wins now, but if they go 4-0, push that up another win there. But it's going to be difficult. Look, the Lions are not going to win every single game. And if they lose a game, it doesn't mean they suck, folks. It means that it's an NFL team. I mean, it's just what happens. Good teams sometimes lose, bad teams sometimes win, and good teams going to go against good teams. Someone's got to lose, right? So that's just the way it is here, and we'll see going forward. Then you got the trade deadline coming up, so a lot of important games coming on Sunday. A lot. NFC North, you got Chicago and Minnesota fighting each other. Does it really matter who wins? No, probably not, in all honesty, but we'll see. You got the Green Bay Packers and all that stuff. I'm not too worried about the NFC North. It's more now I'm just kind of watching the Philadelphia Eagles and 49ers and Dallas Cowboys. Those are kind of the teams that I think the Lions got to, kind of watch for, because I think the Lions are up there. And the same with Seattle. You got to watch Seattle. They did beat us, and they're a good football team. They are a good football team, but I do think that San Francisco's got that division locked up. I think Seattle will be a wild card team. So it'd be interesting if the Lions do host a playoff game and Seattle's got to come back to Detroit. As much as I hate facing Seattle, it would be really good to get that win at home, especially against a team that's been beating us left and right like Seattle. So watch these games, folks. Watch all the NFC teams. See who's winning. Every game matters, and it's not just for us. It's for the rest of the NFC. Every game does matter, and for seeding and all that type of stuff. So it's cool that we actually look towards seeding and playoffs instead of looking towards draft and losing. So it's a nice little switch this year. It's something that we all got to get used to. And I do like the Detroit Lions, the way that we're going right now. But make sure you go ahead and hit that notification bell. We're going to be live for the game. We're going to break it all down for you. With that said, folks, adios.